Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well on this Thursday evening. We're going to have another matchup in our heavyweight championship tournament. And in this matchup, we're going to have Louis Firpo versus Michael Moore. This is round 1, bout number 12, scheduled for 15 rounds. The winner advances, the loser goes home. The bout and all bouts will be simulated using Title Bout Championship Boxing. The boxers were drawn using a Google number randomizer, for all bouts. We will avoid fights that actually took place to the best of our ability. In the first round, we have a list of boxers is provided below on the view page and a link to boxrec.com. If you'd like to know more about the fighters, you type in the name when you get there in the search. So let's move on to our fight, a little late night boxing action. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleacher Bums Gaming, and Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming put up a wonderful fight using Glory Days Boxing, a game that he is developing, card and dice, between Muhammad Ali and John L. Sullivan. I suggest you check it out. All right, let's move to Louis Firpo now. He is from Argentina, the wild bull of the Pampas. He stands at 6'2.5". He'll weigh in at 215 pounds, has a reach of 79 inches. His biggest win came in a fight against Jess Willard. July 12, 1923, he knocked out Willard in the 8th round. He would get a title shot off that fight. He would have a few fights after that. But in September the same year, 1923, on September 14th, he got his shot at Jack Dempsey. Firpo went down 7 times in the first round, Dempsey twice, and there's that famous footage when Firpo knocked Dempsey out of the ring, and people still don't know if people didn't help Dempsey back in the ring, would Firpo have been champion. Dempsey would come back to knock out Firpo in the second, and what is dubbed as one of the greatest heavyweight championship fights in history. Let's look at Firpo's ratings. Firpo is a slugger. He fouls occasionally. He fights inside, outside with the same effectiveness, 2 out of 4. Covering up, not so well, 1 out of 4. Going for broke in the knockout, 3 out of 4. Clinching, 71. Intellect, 5 out of 10, which means sometimes he doesn't follow instructions so well. And proficiency, when he does follow instructions and sticks to the plan, he's pretty good at it, 10 out of 10. Control versus a boxer or a slugger, both 9 out of 9s. Chin, 3. Knockdown, 1. Recovery, 5. But the big thing here, punching power, 7 out of 13. Overall rating, a 6. Firpo's record, 31 wins, 4 losses, no draws, 26 by knockout. Let's go to Michael Moore. Michael Moore from Michigan. He'll weigh in at 220 pounds, 6'2", 78 reach. Fighting out of the Kronk gym. Moore would win the IBF and WBA heavyweight titles after he moved up from light heavyweight. He was light heavyweight champion, WBO. He would defeat Evander Holyfield by majority decision on April 22, 1994, to take those 2 belts, would subsequently lose both belts in his first defense to the second coming of George Foreman, who knocked him out in the 10th. Prior to that, Michael Moore defeated Burt Cooper in a slugfest for the vacant WBO heavyweight championship. Both fighters down on multiple occasions, culminating with a Michael Moore TKO stoppage of Burt Cooper, a one-time protege of Smokin' Joe Frazier. Bout was very reminiscent of George Foreman Ron Lyle. He was the first southpaw to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. He defended his WBO Light Heavyweight Championship 9 times. Let's go to his ratings. Michael Moore can fight as either a boxer or a slugger. He fouls occasionally, fights inside, outside, and cover up with the same proficiency. 2 out of 4 for all. Go for knockout, 3 out of 4. So Firpo and Moore are pretty evenly matched. Moore follows instructions a little bit better than Firpo. Control versus a boxer, 10. Control versus a slugger, 9. This could be another slugfest like Moore and Cooper, Foreman, and Ron Lyle. Hitting power for Michael Moore, 8 out of 13. Both very aggressive fighters. Endurance, 7. So they're both going to have stamina issues. Moore has a neutral defense, and Firpo, I forgot to tell you, has a 2. So that's 2 more punches added on. Let's get to setting up the fight. So Firpo will be to the left. Again, Firpo's record 31-4, no draws, 26 knockouts. Michael Moore will be to the right. The fight will take place in Madison Square Garden. Michael Moore's record 52-4, 1 draw, 40 knockouts. We're going to use all fighters in the tournament are in their primes. And for the condition check, they are all top condition. So let me make sure I switch that on for both fighters. I will only be calling the fight. There will be no strategies on my behalf. And top condition and prime. Okay. In Firpo's corner, his trainer is Jack DeForest. His cut man is Tommy Gallagher. I assigned Tommy Gallagher because I could not find out who Louis Firpo's cut man was. In Michael Moore's corner, his trainer Emmanuel Stewart, cut man Percy Richardson. I also assigned Percy Richardson to Michael Moore. Fight options. As you can see, the strategies will be determined automatically by the title bout sim engine. The bout will take place at Madison Square Garden, sold out. This will be our 3rd fight from the Garden. We had 2 magnificent fights prior. If you haven't seen them, I suggest you check them out. Michael Buffer will be the ring announcer, and once again, Terry O'Connor from England, the referee. It's a draw halfway through the fight. Until halfway through the fight, they'll go to the scorecards. 3 judges score the fight. 3 knockdown rule, mandatory 8 count, 10-point must system. No saving by the bell. God, I hate that rule. Never. Referee or doctor can stop the fight. And once again, the judges at ringside, Mickey Vann of England, Larry Hazard Jr. of New Jersey, USA, and Dong Ung Park of South Korea. Joining us at ringside to report for us, Herb Pilgrim. How are you, Herb? Hope all is well. So Firpo has a control factor of a 9 versus a boxer or slugger. Michael Moore can fight as either a boxer or a slugger. He has a control factor of a 10 versus a boxer and a 9 versus a slugger. So I believe they will be slugging it out, but we'll see. The bout is once again taking place at Madison Square Garden. And it's fight time, folks. Oh, I forgot to do the analysis. Oh well. It's going to be a slugfest. Trust me on this. Moore will have the advantage in hand speed. Punching power is pretty much the same. Defense will go to a slight advantage to Moore. Stamina. Both fighters have questionable stamina. And listening to their corners, the edge will go to Moore. And there's Madison Square Garden. Michael Buffer, the ring announcer. Again, referee Terry O'Connor. Mickey Van, Larry Hazard Jr., and Dung Ung Park. The judges at ringside. The unofficial scorer for Title Bout Championship Boxing, Ian Lord. So here we go. For round number 1. Once again, fighters getting their final instructions in the center of the ring. O'Connor asks, any questions from the Firpo camp? They say no. Any questions to the Michael Moore camp? They say no. So once again, Firpo 6'2.5", 215 pounds, 79-inch reach. Michael Moore 6'2", 78-inch reach, 220 pounds. This is going to be a slugfest. That's what I predict. Both fighters go back to their corners. They wait for the bell. And here's the bell for round number 1. Both fighters quickly off the stool, and they go right at each other. And Firpo lands to the body and up to the head. Moore is stunned already. Firpo coming forward. They try to tie up. Moore pushes him away. Firpo throwing like the wild bull he is. He's countered by a left hook. Now Moore is opening up with 1s and 2s. Standing toe-to-toe. Moore again. Firpo. Back and forth they go, landing to the head and body. Both fighters dazed. 1:15 to go. Moore digs to the body, up to the head. They are standing toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. Again, Moore opens up. Firpo is tremendously dazed. Backs up a bit, then charges back towards him. They tie up. 30 seconds to go. Moore misses with those shots. Firpo tries to pull his way in on the inside, and there is the bell. Tremendous action round. The crowd is on its feet here at Madison Square Garden as both fighters stunned themselves. Wow. The round does go to Michael Moore, in my opinion. He landed more punches. When Firpo did land, he did rock more, and vice versa. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard of Ian Lord. And he gives it 10-9 Moore, as I do. Let's quickly go to the Firpo corner. Another great fight here at the Garden. We've had 2 doozies before this. A lot of action on this fight, mostly for the fight not going the distance. No nicks, cuts, or abrasions out of the ordinary to report from the Louis Firpo corner. Jack DeForest giving Firpo some advice to the Argentinian wild bull of the Pampas. He's saying, just let that right hand go. Keep throwing it. You'll drop him. Tommy Gallagher reiterating what DeForest is saying. Firpo takes a sip of water, spits it out. Now we move to the Michael Moore corner, where Emmanuel Stewart, is wanting Moore to stay on the outside a little more, and then come in once he staggers Firpo. So they want Moore, who's fighting as a slugger, to be an aggressive counterpuncher. But will Moore follow those directions? Takes a sip of water from Percy Richardson. Both fighters stand up from their stools, await the bell for round number 2. Let's quickly go to the stats. And Firpo landed 13 punches. Michael Moore landed 28, as both fighters just threw and threw hellaciously. And they threw hard. Every punch meant with bad intentions. The big right hands landed 4 times for Firpo on Michael Moore. Firpo also unleashed combinations on the inside. Punch of choice for Michael Moore were the hooks, and that's when he was working on the inside. Also worked the jab quite well, setting up those shots. And here's round 2, scheduled for 15. Winner goes home. Winner advances, loser goes home. There's the bell. Both fighters again off their stools quickly, and they charge at each other in the center of the ring. And now, Moore pushes him away and wants to fight outside defensively. Firpo staying on the outside, looking to land that big right hand. Moore lands a 1-2, moves away, lands another 1-2 to the head and body and moves away. Now a right hand, now a jab. Moore side to side. They tie up. Again, they push away. Firpo looking for range for that right hand. Both fighters throw more shots with more oomph on it. Firpo missed the big right hand there. Moore counters. Again, they tie up. 30 seconds left. Michael Moore is boxed beautifully from the outside, taking very little punishment. And there's the bell. Moore missed with the big left hook as Firpo dipped under it. D. Scott Howard has joined us at ringside. How are you, D. Scott? So that was a very good round of boxing for Michael Moore, who listened to his corner beautifully. Even though he's fighting as a slugger, he stayed outside to counter aggressively. Firpo landed very little in that round. A good round for Michael Moore. I scored easily 10-9 for Moore. And so does Ian Lord, the unofficial score for Title Bout Championship Boxing. After 2 rounds complete, he has it 20-18, Michael Moore. Let's go to Louis Firpo's corner, where Jack DeForest does not like what he sees. He wants Firpo to throw the right hand and throw it overtime. Just keep throwing it, you're going to hit him. But Moore had good side-to-side movement, keeping Firpo out of rhythm. Nothing to report regarding swelling, nicks, cuts, or abrasions, just the usual wear and tear in a fight. Let's quickly move to the Michael Moore corner. And Manuel Stewart very happy with the aggressive counter punching. As he says, you're going to lump him up and lump him up good. Keep doing that. Moore takes a swig of water, spits it out. Let's quickly go to round 2 stats, as to me it was a total whitewash for Michael Moore. And Moore, again, just opening up. He hit Firpo with everything. Worked everything off the jab quite nicely. Used hooks, crosses, combinations, uppercuts, everything. He nailed him with everything. 35 total punches landed. Firpo's there to be hit. And again, that's where the hand speed by Michael Moore comes in. Firpo not the fastest with his hands. Firpo landed 7 punches with no damaging effects. We prepare for round number 3 as Michael Moore has taken control of this fight, winning the first 2 rounds. Here's the bell for round number 3 here at Madison Square Garden. And again, Firpo's looking to stay on the outside, and as I say that, Firpo lands a right and then a crushing left hook. Moore is hurt. Firpo comes back with an uppercut. Moore staggers backwards. Firpo trying to load up. Moore trying to keep him off with a jab. Right hand miss. Moore digs 2 shots to the body to try to slow down the Wild Bull of the Pampas. They tie up. Firpo tries to work the free hand. O'Connor breaks him. 1:30 to go. And now, toe-to-toe they go. Moore got the better of that exchange. Firpo missed with the 1-2. Under a minute to go. Moore's corner screaming to let your hands go. Firpo lands a left hook and a right cross. Moore is stunned once again. He staggers forward. 30 seconds to go. Firpo trying to load up one more time. Moore ducks underneath. They both exchange and stagger each other with lefts and rights. And there is the bell. Hellacious action here in round 3. A very close round. But I give it to Louis Firpo, as fighting outside defensively was out the window for Michael Moore. Once he was tagged, Firpo hit him with that left hook and then came with a big right cross. Both punches stunning Moore, not known for having the best beard, but he stood up. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard. I give round 3 to Firpo, and so does Ian Lord, the unofficial scorer for Title Bout Championship Boxing. Crowd is on its feet. We have a third great fight here at Madison Square Garden, as this has been the venue for action. So after 3, 29 Moore, 28 Firpo. We go to the Louis Firpo corner, and Jack DeForce is extremely happy. Again, Firpo was fighting on the outside. He wants that distance to throw that big, long right hand that knocked Jack Dempsey out of the ring in his title shot opportunity. Dempsey would come back to KO him in the second. DeForce was very happy as Firpo let his hands go. Tommy Gallagher telling Firpo, "You've got him now. You got him now, bull." Move over to the Michael Moorer corner. And in typical Michael Moorer fashion in his fights, once the punches start flying, he wants to slug. Emanuel Stewart not very happy with him. To Moorer's defense, he did get staggered early in that round, but he fought him off. Emanuel Stewart says, "Work everything off the jab. Don't stand there to be hit." Easier said than done. Stewart does know that, though. All right, quickly to the punch stat numbers for both fighters. Firpo landed 19 punches. Moorer actually landed one more, but Firpo landed, even though they staggered each other, Firpo staggered Moorer on 2 more occasions. And Firpo again does damage with that big right hand. 8 crosses landed. Moorer jabs and hooks. And on the inside worked his uppercut quite well. We prepare for round number 4 in this slugfest. Here we go, round number 4, Firpo, Michael Moorer. Again, both fighters quickly off the stool. And now Moorer comes to do battle on the inside, and so does Firpo. Moorer pushing Firpo back, digs to the body, again pushes him back, trying to muscle him to the ropes. They're tied up, they work in their free hands, now they break away from each other under 2 minutes ago. Big right hand missed by Firpo. Moorer standing billy goat to billy goat, they tie up again, wrestling, mauling, and brawling. Again, Moorer forcing Firpo. Oh, big left, straight left, missed. Right hook landed, as Moorer is the southpaw. And again, Moorer lands those 2 hard right jabs. And working hard on the inside, his hand speed is much quicker. He is chewing up and spitting out Firpo. Firpo taking a lot of punishment this round. Firpo is unable to get anything off, and Firpo has some swelling under the eyes now. As Michael Moorer got on the inside and worked hard. He just let his hands go, and when he wasn't punching, he was pushing Firpo back, tying him up, and keeping his hands high, and always digging to that body. Towards the end of the round, he really opened up on the inside, causing some swelling on Firpo's face. Good round for Michael Moorer, actually excellent round, an easy 10-9 round. And Ian Lord gives it 10-9. Michael Moorer, he's now up 39-37 after 4, unofficially of course. Let's go to a very concerned Louis Firpo corner. He just did not let his hands go. Never could get in a rhythm, as Firpo was eating punches for the full 3 minutes. Michael Moorer, great job keeping it Firpo off balance. Never able to set and throw. And Tommy Gallagher working on some swelling on that left eye. Michael Moorer, a very good inside fighter, probably a better inside fighter. I know they're both rated 2 out of 4, but in my opinion, Michael Moorer is the better inside fighter with these shorter, quicker punches. Firpo's punches are a little more long. You do have to watch out for that uppercut on the inside, and Firpo is a very strong fighter. Let's go to the Michael Moorer corner. A lot of excitement there. As let's see if Emanuel Stewart will stick with that strategy of Michael Moorer just getting right on top of Firpo, as Jack Dempsey did. And you know Jack Dempsey knocked Firpo out in the second round after going through the ropes, though. So there is a danger with this strategy. I believe if Moorer can get on the inside, though, he's actually safer on the inside, because the big right hand is a long punch for Firpo. And if Moorer stays inside of it, he neutralizes a lot of power. Let's go to his punch stat numbers. Officially no punches landed by Louis Firpo. Michael Moore, again, just opened up on the inside, rat-a-tatting Firpo's head like a piñata. He's lucky. Firpo's lucky. I think it busted open. There is some swelling, though. As we await the bell for round number 5. Tremendous action here at Madison Square Garden in this heavyweight tournament bout. Here's the bell, round 5. And again, both fighters off their stools quickly. And this time, Firpo lands the uppercut, then the right hand, followed with 2 shots to the body. Moore backs up. Firpo pouring it out, pushing Moore away to get that proper distance. Now the right hand misses. Moore digs to the body and the head as Moore comes forward, pushing Firpo back. They're standing toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring. That punch missed by Firpo. Again, Firpo wants a little more distance. Firpo crushes a hook, then a right hand to the body, and again digs to the body. Moore is in trouble. Under a minute to go. Firpo looking to end. Oh! Firpo walks into the counter right hook.
2.
O'Connor begins the count.
4.
Firpo rolls over trying to get up. The count
6.
is at 6.
7. 8.
Firpo's up at 8. He is staggered. 28 seconds to go. Can Moore finish him off? They tie up. And there's... Oh! Right at the
2,
bell!
3.
Straight
4,
left hand
5,
drops Firpo.
6. 7. 8. 9. 10.
The fight is over! The fight is over in a hellacious round 5 where Firpo had Moore staggered and looking to take him out. Moore digs down deep, works hard on the inside, lets his hands go, just like in the Cooper fight. Comes back from what looked like oblivion. Moore badly hurt, staggered, stayed on his feet. Bulls his way forward, lets his hands go on the inside, drops the Wild Bull the Pampas with a counter right hook. And then, as the round's ending, nailed him with a straight left, and Michael Moore is a southpaw, and the fight is over. Firpo does not beat the count. They reach 10. The fight is done. Magnificent brawl here at Madison Square Garden. Michael Moore is the winner by knockout at the end of the 5th round. As they bring Louis Firpo, the doctor comes in. Firpo now sits up. He seems okay. Jack DeForest and Tommy Gallagher bring the stool out. They're taking their time to put Firpo on the stool. He seems okay, though. He seems okay. And Michael Moore, and this, I knew this was going to be a slugfest. I hope I did the fight justice. This was the fight I really wanted to do, and I know it's late, but I said this is not going the distance, and it didn't. Let's just go unofficial scorecard one last time. It doesn't matter. So at the end of 4, myself and Ian Lord, the unofficial scorer of Title Bout Championship Boxing, had Michael Moore up by 2 points, 39-37. Again, a mute point. Michael Moore just KO'd Louis Firpo in the 5th in what has to be the round of the tournament. Firpo came so close to putting Michael Moore to the canvas. But a tremendous effort. Michael Moore staggered, weebled, wobbled, but he wouldn't go down. Let's go to the official announcement from Michael Buffer. And the crowd is ecstatic. They paid good money, and they've seen 3 excellent fights here at Madison Square Garden. The winner by knockout at the end of round 5 is Michael Moore. And he will advance on to round 2, as this was bout number 12, round number 1 of our heavyweight tournament. And it was tremendous, folks, tremendous. Herb Pilgrim reporting from ringside says, "You were right, Al. Slugfest." D. Scott Howard reporting for the Seattle Times. Headline reads, "Wow." All right, let's move on. Louis Firpo, we will add the sim record to the actual records of the fighters. Firpo will fall to 31-5 and 26 knockouts. Michael Moore will improve with the sim record added to his real record to 53-4-1 and 41. This was a hellacious fight. And again, the big difference here, both fighters could throw hard punches. It's the hand speed and just the Moore is the better technical fighter. Shorter punches, quicker punches, and he lets his hands go. No quitting Louis Firpo until he reached that 10 count when Moore put Firpo out, dispatched him from his senses for a short period of time. And let's go to the punches, the final punch numbers. Tremendous brawl. Round 5, I have to say, I believe right now in my head, that's the round of the tournament. All right. Again, Michael Moore, even though when working on the inside, worked a lot off of his jabs to get in there, threw a lot of hooks, lefts and rights. Again, Moore is southpaw, so it's a right hook that you have to really watch out for. The cross would be his left hand. He threw 20 of those. Every punch by both these fighters, as Mike Tyson would say, were thrown with bad intentions, whether they landed or not. Firpo did throw one more right cross than Michael Moore, as the right hand is his big weapon. He did stagger Moore with a left hook, and then followed with the right cross. I believe that was in round 2. Firpo landed 65 punches. Michael Moore landed 142. Practically everything he threw, well, just under 40%, 39.7%. Firpo landed on a 26.1 percentage. Punches thrown, Firpo 249. Michael Moore, the much busier fighter, as he did a really tremendous job. And again, as I stated, the safer place, as strange as it sounds, against a fighter like Louis Firpo, is on the inside. Because Firpo throws long punches. Grant you, Firpo is a very strong fighter, but so is Michael Moore. And there is a danger to get on the inside. You might get caught coming in. You might, it's a rough fight, but Michael Moore, a strong fighter, a good inside fighter. And his beard, a.k.a. his chin, held up. And it was Firpo's chin that cracked first like an egg. Down twice in the 5th. The second time, he doesn't get up. So, tremendous brawl here. Michael Moore the winner by knockout in round 5. And let's go back to fighters. And let's update the records. And out of curiosity, let's look at the official scorecards. Something I like to do. So let's look at the official scorecards. Mickey Vann from England saw it the same way myself and Ian Lord, 39-37, and in the same rounds also. He had given 3 rounds to Moore. The only round to Firpo was that very close slugfest in round 3. And again, then Michael Moore comes back tremendously in round 4, battering Firpo and swelling up his eye. Larry Ezzard Jr. of New Jersey, USA, same thing. 39-37 with all the exact same rounds as myself and Ian Lord scored it. And we hit the hat trick with Dong Ung Park of South Korea. He also gave rounds 1, 2, and 4, 10-9 to Moore. Only round 3, which again was a tremendous action-packed round, he gave to Firpo 10-9. So a tremendous bout here. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And we completed it before 11:30, so at Eastern Standard Time. As the Garden, Madison Square Garden, is still abuzz. Unbelievable. The fights they have seen here at the Garden. This has been the venue of choice. All the fights have been pretty good, but this has been the venue of choice. You had Braddock, Tony Tucker was an outstanding fight. Chavallo and... oh my lord, I forgot. Chavallo and... oh, I gotta go back now. Bear with me a moment. Al Red Sox fan has a brain fart. Chavallo and Kenny Norton was a tremendous fight. Sorry about that. And now we just saw another tremendous fight. Michael Moore and Louis Firpo, the wild bull of the Pampas, gets made into steaks. as he is KO'd in round 5. Once again, thank you. Oh, D. Scott Howard reporting again from ringside. I had a model back in the 60s based on the famous painting of Firpo knocking Dempsey through the ropes. I see they sell it for $470 now. Wish I still had it. I wish you still did too. It's a very famous, the painting, the photograph where Firpo knocks Dempsey through the ropes. And again, people wonder, had Dempsey not received help from the people at ringside, the writers, basically holding on to him and pushing him back into the ring, would he have beat the count? That's a great question. And that's one of those fights where you didn't have to go to a neutral corner. And you can find that fight on YouTube if you'd like to watch it. Just type in Dempsey versus Firpo. The whole fight is on YouTube. Great old film footage. You could hover over the fallen fighter, and as he got up, you could strike him. Again, they would change those rules a little later in the 20s. Because you would just hover over the fighter and wait till he stood up and start whacking at him again. So, I'd like to thank D. Scott Howard, reporting for the Seattle Times, and also would like to thank Herb Pilgrim, reporting for the New York Independent. And it was a slugfest. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. We'll be coming back not tonight, but, maybe again this weekend with another fight, and I think that might be Jimmy Young, Ingemar Johansson, though it could be changed with the way I feel. Herb Pilgrim reporting from ringside. Would have been cool probably to see something like that show up on Pawn Stars. Yes, I tell you, before we leave quickly, I watch American Pickers also, and this guy had, they go and they find all these things, but this guy had a special room where he kept all his favorite stuff that he wasn't going to sell, and he had basically a Rock'em Sock'em robot, not plastic though, obviously. It was Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, and the best way to describe it is sort of like Rock'em Sock'em robots, and they're in a ring, and they could have been cast iron or tin metal or whatever, probably tin metal, but it was beautiful. And they asked him, how much would it cost? I want to say he said something like $15,000. And all I kept thinking was, if I was filthy rich, I would buy that. D. Scott Howard says, also had Babe Ruth's 60th home run and Willie Mays the catch. Cool. So once again, those are the final thoughts from our two reporters from ringside, D. Scott Howard and Herb Pilgrim. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining in. If you watched and you didn't jump in the chat, that's fine too. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a great slugfest. And again, this is our heavyweight tournament. Our next bout will be bout 13. All bouts are up on the channel now. This will be loading up shortly, so you can check them all out. And they're a lot of fun to do. As D. Scott Howard says, I'll have to look for that episode. Yeah, it was oh my God, a beautiful Max Schmeling, Joe Louis. Again, probably was a tin toy, very similar to Rock'em Sock'em robots, meaning they were on like the Rock'em Sock'em robot type thing, and you could move them back and forth, and you hit the little trigger, and the hands would move. It was beautiful. I mean, I'm a boxing fan, so. And that's it from here at Madison Square Garden. This Al Red Sox fan saying thank you very much. As D. Scott Howard says, thanks, Al. Take care of yourself. Dealing with a sinus infection. So, but I wanted to do this fight. Anthony did his fight. It was so much fun. I said, I got to do a fight. Remember to check out Bleacher Bums Gaming with Anthony. Higher Ground Gaming with Eric. ID Gesture. What's Blazing in Sports with T-Dub. Broke Black Man 94 for movie and TV reviews. Phil the Issues Guy for movie and TV reviews. Johnny Indie Boots, Game of Thrones. JD, Game of Thrones. And they're both authors. Stratomatic Delaware. And just go to my channel page and see the related and also the featured channels. Clinton Parks, Max Cornelius, so on and so forth. All great channels. Check them all out and check who they follow. Thank you very much once again to Herb Pilgrim and D. Scott Howard reporting from ringside here at Madison Square Garden. Hope you enjoyed our audio-radio call using Title Bout Championship Boxing. Once again, Michael Moore KOs the Wild Bull of the Pampas, Louis Firpo, in the 5th and will advance to round 2 of the heavyweight tournament. Firpo will go back to Argentina. Till next time, health and happiness. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Watch out for the big left hook and the curveball in the dirt. Peace!